In a bustling city where skyscrapers cast long shadows and car horns blended into a constant hum, 29-year-old Priya Sharma felt like she was always running. Her apartment, a small studio cluttered with unopened mail and half-read books, overlooked a street where neon signs flickered relentlessly. Priya was a graphic designer at a fast-paced startup, her days a blur of deadlines, Zoom calls, and notifications pinging from her phone even at midnight. She thrived on the adrenaline of her job, crafting vibrant ad campaigns under tight schedules, but lately her body told a different story: sleepless nights, a racing heart, and a quiet ache of emptiness she couldn't name. Every morning, Priya rushed through her routine: a quick gulp of coffee while checking emails, a dash to the subway, earbuds blasting a podcast to drown out the world. Lunch was a sandwich eaten at her desk, her eyes glued to a screen. By evening, she'd collapse on her couch, scrolling social media, comparing her life to curated posts of others' vacations and achievements. "I'm living the dream," she'd tell herself, but the words felt hollow. She missed the days of her childhood in a small town, where summers meant reading under a tree or chatting with her grandmother over chai, time stretching like an endless horizon. One rainy Saturday, Priya's world hit pause. Her laptop crashed mid-project, her phone battery died, and a power outage left her apartment dark. Frustrated, she lit a candle and sat on her balcony, the city's usual roar softened by the patter of rain. For the first time in months, there was no screen, no deadline, no noise. She noticed the scent of wet pavement, the distant laughter of kids splashing in puddles below. It felt strange, almost unsettling, to just be. But as she sat, a memory surfaced, her grandmother's voice, soft and wise. "Life isn't about rushing to the finish line, Priya. It's about savoring the steps." That moment sparked something in Priya. She began researching slow living, a philosophy of embracing mindfulness and intentionality in a world obsessed with speed. It wasn't about quitting her job or moving to a farm, it was about reclaiming her time, finding joy in the small things. The next morning, she tried something radical. She turned off her phone for an hour. She brewed tea slowly, watching the leaves unfurl in the hot water, the steam curling like a quiet dance. She savored each sip, noticing flavors she'd never tasted in her usual rushed coffee. It felt like a tiny rebellion against the world's demand to hurry. At work, Priya experimented further. She started taking real lunch breaks, stepping outside to feel the sun on her face or sketching ideas in a notebook instead of a digital app. One day, she walked to a nearby park, sat on a bench, and watched pigeons peck at crumbs, their simple focus grounding her. She began saying no to extra projects, guarding her evenings for things that lit her up, cooking a proper meal, reading a novel, or calling her parents just to chat. Her coworkers noticed a change. Her designs became more creative, her presence calmer. "What's your secret?" her friend Mia asked. Priya smiled. "I'm just slowing down." It wasn't easy. The world didn't stop moving. Deadlines loomed, notifications buzzed, and old habits crept back. Once, during a stressful week, Priya caught herself eating dinner over her laptop, emails piling up. But she paused, closed the screen, and lit a candle, remembering that rainy night. Slow living wasn't perfection, it was choice. She started small rituals: a morning stretch without checking her phone, a weekly walk with no destination, a journal where she wrote 3 things she was grateful for each day. One entry read, "The way the sunlight hits my window." Mia's laugh. "The taste of mango in my smoothie." Months later, Priya's life looked different. Her apartment was tidier, with plants she watered mindfully, their green leaves a quiet reminder to care for herself. She still worked hard, but she set boundaries, leaving the office on time to join a pottery class, her hands shaping clay with a focus that felt like meditation. Her anxiety hadn't vanished, but it was softer, less consuming. She reconnected with her family, spending a weekend with her grandmother, who smiled at her newfound calm. "You're living again, not just running," she said, squeezing Priya's hand. Priya's journey wasn't about escaping the modern world. It was about finding balance within it. She still loved her city, her job, her ambition. But by embracing slow living, she rediscovered joy in the moments that technology and hustle often drowned out. Her story spread quietly, inspiring Mia to try a phone-free Sunday, her neighbor to start a garden, and even her boss to suggest no meeting afternoons. In a world that glorified speed, Priya's small acts of mindfulness showed that slowing down wasn't laziness. It was courage, a way to reclaim life's richness. This story wasn't just about one woman's change. It was about a universal longing to pause, to feel present, to find meaning in the everyday. Priya's rediscovery of slow living reminded us that even in a fast world, we can choose to savor the steps, finding beauty in the moments we so often rush past.